Warning, warning. Two idiots are reading the SCP files over the intercom. Egads, this is fucking nuts. Hello, welcome back to Discovering SCP. We are back. Hello.
Hello, everybody. I was a little late to start my recording, but the clap sync should save me anyway, when Anomalous edits that. Because I hit the record button instead of the OK after the box pops up in Audacity.
This guy.
I know.
He's making a fool of me.
We're back, and it's time for some SCPs. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has. It's been like an episode.
So we
no,
do
2 episodes.
Some people know there's a guest in the works. That might be coming, but there's still some stuff going on down the line, so we're going back to SCP for a bit.
Yeah, I'm discovering SCP.
Yeah, I know, right? If I could ever fucking log into this fucking website. Why can't it just remember it? Only this site. Isn't that crazy? Right.
Yeah.
I'm in. So, I was thinking. Tan only thought maybe we should do some of the more recent articles. I was thinking personally we go to like a hub and look for some good stuff.
Well, yeah, I actually had a thought as well. Like, this is something I like took part in. I don't know if you've seen the SCP Anthology project. It was it was in alphabet. Like every letter was an article.
I think I've heard of that vaguely. That sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, I did V.
Though?
Well, they're like SCP articles, so they're like standard length. Depends on the. Well, I thought just like maybe the first couple.
Yeah, I feel like they're pretty. Anytime there's like an SCP project, people always make it really long.
Except for me.
Except for you,
because I get stressed out.
Yeah. People really.
Because every time I'll do it, like, oh yeah, I'll do it. I'm the fucking writer, but I can do this shit. And then it's like the week before, it's like fuck.
That's crazy. All right, well, yeah, we can.
Then I submit, I'm like, oh, this is so shit. They're gonna hate it. It's like you've done it, and then you actually like you've done it again, Tanny.
That makes me feel a little bit better. That I'm like, anytime I hear about other people who are good authors having writer anxiety, it makes me feel good. Man.
Well, yeah. Why don't we give it a go then?
Yeah.
Here is the first one. This is SCP-7027. A is for Annihilation by Metaphysician.
Oh wow! I didn't know they still wrote.
Yeah. I didn't actually realise until just now that it was Metaphysician articles, and I love their articles, so I'm actually quite excited now.
Ah, people do love Metaphysician. Ooh, this is a long one though.
Well, that's good.
This is a beefy boy tan.
We'll do as much as we can. If this is the only one today, that's fine as well, as long as we enjoy it.
All right, you said it. Be warned. I warned you. All right, let's do this.
Let's get right into it. Master Yoda, I can't lift that friggin' Y-wing. Are you crazy? Try not. Only do. Thank you for that. That was my impersonation of Yoda.
Everybody clap for Tanoni's Yoda.
Padawan.
Padawan.
Make me an ice cream, you will.
I have no Star Wars jokes to make because I am not a big Star Wars fan. I don't know dick.
Tell Yaddle, see her again, I will not. Do you know Yaddle?
Mm-mm.
It's the female Yoda.
Gotcha.
It's so fucking funny because if you look at it, like she appears like it's bizarre because like Yoda is like such a big guy, like he's so mysterious, and then like the female Yoda appears for like 30 seconds in one scene.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I love how I just told you
like this.
dick about Star Wars, and you're like, do you remember the character that's in one film for 30 seconds?
look at Yaddle. It's Yoda with her because it's a girl.
Nice. I'm glad you showed me that.
when they say something so Star Wars phobic, you have to hit him with the Yaddle stir.
Remember when we were reading A for Annihilation?
Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted by Yaddle. I did a Yoda impression that somehow led to me sending you pictures of Yaddle from Star Wars.
This is why I hate Star Wars fans. Every time, man. They're going to be like, oh, remember the thing from Dick Lockalon? And it's like, no, I don't remember Dick Lockalon. It's like, you don't remember Lobster Jones? No, I don't.
Let's get into it. Item number, SCP-7027. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Provisional Containment Site 95 has been constructed near SCP-7027's point of terrestrial origin.
Oh.
Due to the relative isolation of the site and the passive nature of GOI 0184/SCP-1, minimal security is required. As of 2021, interacting with the GOI is prohibited. Observations continue remotely as long as it does not disrupt the practices of the GOI. Refusals to comply with non-intervention will result in termination.
So, knowing metaphysician, I assume the GOI is like Sarcasm?
Maybe. Well, I don't know, maybe. We'll find out, I assume. Refusal to comply with non-intervention will result in termination. Site-90 finds to remain active to ensure the continued containment of SCP-2. Research into -2 is to remain on hold for the foreseeable future. Very strange, this pleasant is. Send Key Antimundi to investigate, we will. Description.
Do you think there's a guy on the O5 that's just Yoda?
Maybe.
Just a Yoda equivalent.
War crimes we must commit.
I don't think Cassie should get jorts.
Know about Cassie. The people cannot.
Oh, Lord. Alright, let's
draw her a pool, we will.
Approved!
Imagine going to O5 Yoda, putting Cassie in front of him, and is that thing where they look at art and goes, "Is this anime?"
Oh my god, could you imagine if geriatric congressmen decided everything in your life? That's what Cassie's existence is like. That's horrible.
Draw braces, the council will not. I'm sorry, that's completely unrelated.
One day we'll finish this article.
Monday or one day?
One day.
Description. The SCP designates an anomalous phenomena primarily harnessed as a process of physical transfiguration and psychological augmentation by members of a monastic order located in the Kakarin mountain range. Individuals infected by the SCP are classified as -1.
Is it Karakorum or Karakorum?
I have no clue.
Fair enough.
The anomaly initially manifests as a 15mm to 25mm diameter black circular dot on the centre of an affected individual's forehead. This mark superficially resembles a decorative bindi, but is irremovable unless surgically excised soon after infection. As the SCP progresses, it will consume the face of its host, causing the front of the skull to sink and eventually collapse into an indeterminately deep void before slowly spreading to the rest of the body.
Oh, that's some Uzumaki shit.
Yeah. Would you go to Uzumaki on vacation?
No.
You don't want to be part of the underground city?
No, I'm good.
Damn. Nobody wants to be a lonely only. Flesh blackened by the SCP does not reflect light and will. Oh, I've just read that. It does not reflect light or will.
Damn.
My human will, it doesn't reflect it. And will, over a period of time, develop holes and fizzes that further disfigure -1 and, like the aperture that consumed much of the host's head, displays physically impossible interior dimensions. Objects introduced to these voids are ultimately unrecoverable.
So they kind of become like a human black hole a little bit.
Yeah. We got a picture here. The guy after 16 years of infection.
Damn.
He looks happy enough.
I don't think so.
He's got a little smirk to him. He knows that he's got some plans.
To be fair, it kind of is like an attack when your hole's that big, because it says anything that goes in there is irrecoverable, so you just
grab the guy's hand to strike. It's like, I'm gonna punch you, man. Go ahead, punch me in the face.
Go ahead. Clock me.
You got a hat pulled all the way down to conceal it. I've got a beanie pulled down all the way to your lips.
Oh my god.
It's like a one-piece character design.
Come get him a pistol!
I ate the whole fruit and became a holy man. There should have been H for holy.
Yeah.
The SCP created cavities produce continuous discharge, the emanation visibly behaving in a manner similar to a hot gas or plasma, but appearing almost completely opaque, save for its outer zone, which bears a semi-translucent quality, which blurs/distorts the space around it. All efforts to extract a sample have failed, leaving its chemical composition unknown, if chemical composition is in any way applicable to anomaly. Despite its resistance to analysis, it's been discovered that the temperature around the fissures steadily decreases, closely approaching absolute zero as the -1 enters the final stage of infection, at which point they disintegrate before disappearing completely, leaving no trace of matter, including when the subject is held in a fully sterilised vacuum-sealed containment unit. The progression of the SCP violates the law of condensation of mass, with the subatomic particles composing -1 undergoing annihilation without the apparent introduction of the respective antiparticles. That's bad.
Ooh.
The transformation occurs over decades and inevitably results in destruction of vital organs, including the brain and heart. By this stage, -1 are clinically deceased, requiring neither sleep nor sustenance, but will remain mobile and will continue to wander the monastery when not seated in meditation. They go hollow.
Damn.
The Foundation has yet to uncover the exact source of the SCP, but physical symptoms of infection follow only after the monks have confined themselves within the walls of the monastery. These interiors are just large enough to allow for meditation and function as a form of sensory deprivation. The monks believe that, by immersing themselves in darkness, they allowed their bodies to become a host. There have been reports from...
So none of this happens until they're like confining themselves. So it's only monks, and only when they confine
These
themselves.
specific monks, yeah.
Interesting. Is it like supposed to be something to do with like reaching enlightenment or like entering Samsara?
Yeah, maybe. They've got that vibe to it.
Becoming nothing? Interesting.
There have been reports from personnel at Site-95 describing possible paranatural encounters, but the ephemeral nature of these incidents renders them unconducive to repeat experimentation and classification. The following is a list of purported incidents. Sightings of mobile humanoid shadows without apparent source, higher frequency of night terrors and sleep paralysis, sudden transitory cold spots, even within the insulated and heated sections of Site-95, higher than average radio interference in and around the monastery, the appearance and rapid disappearance of black stains throughout the monastery, though these may represent an unknown species of slime mold, long-term personnel displaying a steady decrease in feelings of self-worth during routine psychological examinations, without symptoms typically associated with depression, although this is possibly a mundane reaction to observing the practices and traditions of the GOI. Woo. The Foundation became aware of the SCP in 1956, following reports of unusual disfigurements occurring among members of an isolated Buddhist sect in Tibet. Due to the singular nature of their philosophy, the sect and monastery had no formal name, but the residents of neighbouring villages commonly referred to them as the Empty Ones, literally those who are empty of being.
Oh, so rather than emptying themselves of desire, they're like literally emptying themselves of everything.
Yeah, that's a badass name, those who are empty of being.
That's kind of fucking tight.
Have you played Metal Gear Solid 5?
Have I played what?
Metal Gear Solid 5?
No.
It's like a badass name for the bad guys in that one. It reminded me of like those who don't exist. It was.
Fuck yeah, that's cool as shit.
Classified as GOI 0184, the Order practices an extreme form of asceticism and forbids the use... Asceticism.
Asceticism, one of those.
Jeez, you're fucking with me.
I think it's ascetic, because it's ascetic, so asceticism.
Okay. And forbids the use of personal names, depictions of the human form, or even the preservation of its own history. It is believed by members of the GOI that enlightenment, or awakening, can only be achieved through drastic humility. To do this, they must be purged of vanity and pride, with corporeal existence regarded as the final arrogance to be undone.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm on board with this. Put a hole in me, boss.
Let me dissociate, buddy.
Put me in, coach. Through the SCP, the monks believe they can permanently escape Samsara, the cycle of life, death, and rebirth.
Nice, so I wasn't wrong. I was on the money.
Nice. Despite their surface resemblance to other Buddhist sects, the GOI bears many significant deviations. For example, the monks of the GOI believe in Akriyavada, derived from the Sanskrit akriya, meaning inactive, torpid, and worthless. A heretical doctrine which claims that moral acts have no consequences and therefore no influence on rebirth. Unlike most monastic traditions, the GOI includes both men, Jilong, and women, Zhongma, many initiated as children. All are expected to practice the same level of asceticism, regardless of age, gender, or physical health.
It might be asceticism. I don't know now.
You fucker.
I think it's... Well, it's ascetic. I know that. But is it asceticism or asceticism?
I don't know.
Yeah, let me Google it. Asceticism. Let's let the Google lady say it. It is asceticism.
You fucker. You gaslit. This life of austerity includes the renunciation of material possessions, avoidance of physical pleasures, and meagre diets that leave members in a state of chronic starvation, though without many of the symptoms associated with severe inanition. Members of the GOI practice ritual self-mortification, believing that pain, humiliation, self-denial, and disfigurement aid in the destruction of ego. Prior to containment, methods of humiliation often involved visiting neighbouring villages, where the monks would remove their clothes, smear themselves in dirt and ash, and, non-verbally, beg or incite the locals into physically assaulting them.
Jesus Christ, this just sounds like half the people you see on the internet. Terrifying.
Nice. This reminds me of Twitter. Yeah. Likes, please.
Likes, please.
Despite, this is just like Facebook. You can just insert whatever social network.
Never, ever.
I've seen this before. I see this every day on LinkedIn.
I mean, you kind of do a little bit. Have you ever seen every LinkedIn video? Is like, look at this inspiring story, and it's just a Darman skit, basically, all the time.
Oh, they get beaten up. This reminds me of Vine.
All right, I get it. Move on!
Despite frequent injury and infection, this behaviour has never been observed to result in fatalities, and the villagers regard their actions as part of a tradition beneficial to the monks, as opposed to violence committed out of sincere ire.
Oh, I see.
The GOI does not actively recruit, and instead receives initiates by anomalous means. Newly arrived members have refused to communicate, suggesting a priori knowledge of at least some of the Order's tenets. As they are unwilling to divulge information, their reasons for joining are unknown. It's presently hypothesized that the SCP's influence extends beyond the monastery, and is capable of compelling certain individuals to join through anomalous suggestion or even possibly direct control. The Foundation allows these supplicants within Site-95 as they provide a steady flow of Dash-1 specimens for research, who willingly accept the permanent containment and do not interfere with the work of personnel.
Probably because that would count as like a humiliating thing.
It's like, oh, don't contain me. No.
Well, doesn't that kind of serve the purpose? So that's kind of like a mutually symbiotic relationship.
It's like, imagine the monks like trips over, it's like, oh no, they're going to put me in this box.
They're going to put me in a box and ask me annoying questions all day and feed me from a nutritional chart.
I don't want to be a keter. Due to the region's extreme terrain, it's possible that some of those called to the monastery do not survive the journey. As all members appear to be of Tibetan or Nepalese descent, it's likely that the SCP's reach is limited to the region or determined by a genetic component, but it's also possible that these common elements are purely coincidental. The single exception to this pattern is SCP-7027-1-251, which will be further elaborated upon in the section detailing the incident of 9/12/1997.
Oh god, the Tamponi incident.
The monks of the DGUI maintain a vow of silence, leaving only a single person to represent and speak for the sect. Rendered the de facto leader of GOI 0184, this individual, classified as POI 539, refers to himself as a Bodhisvata, whose position requires that he refrain from certain aspects of the faith in order to facilitate the path to nirvana for other monks, a practice not unheard of and which can be found in the Mahayana tradition of Buddhism.
What is the Bodhisvata again? Because I remember that name.
Yes, that's the name I remember. I don't know the exact function of it, but
I'm googling it. We're not ignorant.
A person who is able to reach nirvana but delays doing so through compassion for suffering beings. He's the guy like at the door, like, come on, guys.
So this is like a Buddhism sensei, kind of.
Yeah, he's like at the end. He's like, come on, guys, catch up.
Hey, I'm not going without you.
It's like, no, but you can leave the cycle. It's like, without you, my nakama.
Do you think this is also a cope title? Like, oh, I could totally be a Buddha right now, but I'm just, helping.
I don't want to.
But I don't want to yet.
As a result, POI has avoided infection by SCP-7027, though intends to seek a successor that he might begin the process. We have an interview here with this POI and Dr. Jonathan Isaac.
Do you want to be the boring doctor or the cool monk?
Can I be the monk?
God damn it, fine.
Can you read stage directions, please?
Oh my god, you fucking...
I'm so tired.
Interviewed, POI 539. Interviewer, Dr. Jonathan Isaac. Forward. POI 539 is a Tibetan man estimated to be between the age of 50 to 60. Like other members of the GOI, all efforts to find further identification have failed. As he otherwise lives by the tenets of his order, his body appears malnourished and covered with infected wounds. Isn't getting a title like a POI designation kind of contrary to their beliefs?
I don't know.
It seems interesting that they'd allow that. Interview conducted in and translated from Lhasa. Well, they couldn't really do much, but it does, it say they cooperate, but, they don't want titles because that's part of their thing, right? Interview conducted in and translated from Lhasa, Standard Tibetan. Begin log. Am I to understand that you have no name? You must have had a life before GOI 0184.
We are a slate wiped clean. No, he doesn't talk like that. Past is erased along with the name. There is only the way. If this one must be labelled, Bodhisvata will suffice, for it is this one's purpose.
No, that won't be necessary, POI 539. Simply a matter of record, though not required.
I like how I stopped being British and you became British.
Please, tell me about what you mean by the way.
Transferred to you.
I'll take on that torch.
It's like a ghost launched out of his mouth and went to the doctor. We follow the way of the Black Buddha. To exist, to impose yourself on reality, is a foundational conceit upon which all suffering is derived. It is not a path to walk, not a goal to be sought. It is simply surrender.
And what do you become?
Becoming implies creation. We do not become anything. We are unmade. Sunyata embraces us, translated as emptiness or voidness.
Oh, you got it.
It is a truth without colour or shape. It permeates, festers, and soaks us in darkness. Others would struggle. They would cling to the illusion of life.
But why this process? There are swifter methods to end your life.
You still fail to understand. Death is meaningless. The flesh is returned to the earth. The soul is returned to Samsara. The cycle continues. Sacrifice yourself in vain. There is no mercy, no enlightenment in the turning of the wheel.
Is existence really so awful? It seems that much of your pain is self-inflicted. This is clearly a guy who does not get anything that they're doing at all. Just like, don't you want to exist?
Say that you want to live.
Say it. Come on, Nico Robin.
Life is suffering, but is not without a certain insidious beauty.
Oh my god, I love how he gets kind of enraged every word in the sentence. It's like a reverse Serena.
It fascinates, it enthralls, and it binds us to this realm, to fragile and fleeting forms. The illusion is dispelled the moment you recognise it for the falsehood that it is. There can be no return to ignorance, no matter how comforting the lie may be.
Say it in red, POI.
You seek escape before the truth is lost to death and rebirth, to the ceaseless turning of that hated wheel.
I believe I understand you now. But tell me, why SCP-7027? Why this method? How does it work?
There are three great illusions, three shackles which bind us. Life, the world, and the self. We must surrender to the obliteration of the self if we are ever to transcend. One cannot fight the self, for it feeds on struggle. This tether cannot be broken, but there is a way to slip free. One must sink so low to the darkest, most wretched depths. When we achieve Sunyata, the void consumes that when we manifest, and a shackle cannot bind what no longer exists. It slips away, like rain from our hands, like dust upon a wind. This is the obliteration of the self.
I see. That will be all. Thank you for your time.
I think I just got converted.
yeah, I can feel it in your bones.
The hole appeared.
This is a good article, by the way.
I know. Metaphysicians doing what they do best.
For fucking real.
Ground-penetrating radar detected the presence of man-made objects beneath the monastery and its surrounding land. Initial discoveries include a number of large ash deposits containing traces of paper, birch bark and silk, most likely immolated manuscripts, and heavily damaged Buddhist statues and murals, which have been carbon dated to the 14th century CE. Reconstructed statues are found to resemble the Buddha seated in a lotus position, but as no fragments of the face were discovered, it's hypothesized that the statues were procured intact, ritually defaced to resemble the SCP-1, only to be shattered and buried sometime later. Careful restoration of the murals would reveal depictions of robed figures, presumably monks, wreathed by an aura of black flames which undoubtedly represented the SCP. Based on this evidence, it can be surmised that the geohead not always forbade artistic representation, but adopted anachronism, which is the prohibited... Oh yeah, go ahead.
You got this. Smile.
Sorry. Is the prohibition of material representations of the culture of religion, typically applied to deities, prophets, and saints, but can also extend to all things natural and supernatural, resulting in or preceding an iconoclastic episode between the 14th and 15th century CE. I love that. I love there's actual history to it.
That's so cool. So there's a time when it was okay to kind of draw them a little bit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It makes it feel real, but they did change an actual religion there.
Oh, it's so cool! See, this is the kind of shit I love. I love reading about religions and mythologies and folklore.
No one does it better.
Oh,
no one does it better.
What an artist you are. Can we get Metaphysician on?
I would love to get Metaphysician on if we could.
I'll go bother him on Twitter.
On 04/17/1987, the GUI monastery was damaged by a natural landslide. As the section was rarely used, there were fortunately no fatalities. The disaster would reveal the presence of man-made structures beneath the monastery. Following an archaeological survey at the site, it was determined that the ruins were Epipaleolithic and built not long after the arrival of modern humans to the region.
I actually don't even know what Epipaleolithic means. I know Paleolithic, like the era, but I don't know what the epi implies.
Yeah, I don't know it either. Building material consists of stone, bone, and clay. The architecture itself displays a level of ingenuity uncommon among contemporaneous cultures.
Contemporaneous.
Sorry.
You're okay, I'm just helping. I'm not, like, making fun of you.
The structure had been built at the mouth of a natural mountain cavern, which was discovered to contain a gallery of well-preserved parietal art, including a pair of murals. The first depicts a tall white humanoid with the left hand over the heart, where splashes of red pigment suggest injury, and the right hand extended with the palm facing up. 6 ochre-colour humanoids prostrate themselves before the larger white figure. Black formless substance rises from the ground and enters the open mouths of the smaller, presumably human figures. Despite its greater size, the white humanoid is not depicted as domineering, more like a teacher or spiritual leader than a king or conqueror. What at first was mistaken for a tail turned out to be a crack in the wall.
See, and again, that's just a little bit of world building. I like that.
But its appearance, along with the figure's enlightened countenance and pose, has led one Tibetan specialist to make a comparison to Patrelgen Changchuk Sempa, the mythical monkey ancestor of the Tibetan people. The second mural...
The footnote specifies Fa means father, Trelgan old monkey, Changchub enlightenment, and Sempa intention.
Simpa? I'm sorry, I apologise to the Tibetan people, I should have said that. The second mural displays a complex three-leveled scenario centered around a tree with deep roots. Viewed from the bottom up, it depicts black serpents gnawing on the roots which have black veins, perhaps to represent poisoning, infection, or the spread of a curse. The taint rises through the roots into the second level, where humanoids bite into the roots, removing the taint as someone would suck out venom. The humanoids are missing limbs and bear numerous black spots. The practice of purifying the roots shown to be not without a cost. At the highest level, the tree is healthy and full of leaves, surviving thanks to the sacrifice of those below.
Oh no, I need you to I need you to suck out the venom, please. The taint.
Just let him fucking die?
Just let him fucking die? Come on, you have to suck the taint out.
If the radiocarbon dating of this site is accurate... Sorry, I thought the tree had come for me. It's possible that individuals have been working to contain the SCP for 20,000 years.
Oh my god. So Foundation fucking take notes. So wait, hold on. I got a little bit lost element. Maybe I zoned out, but so
they found a much older structure beneath the temple.
Okay, so there's and that structure involves people containing something.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like my prediction is like this whole thing, like the religion part of it, is like a corruption of the original purpose, which was containing the thing.
Oh,
that's my idea.
That could be.
On 9/12/1997, that's not my birthday. I don't know why I said it. Security officer Lukas Makajewski entered the Site 95 infirmary at 0600 hours to request medication for what he believed at the time to be a sinus headache. Medical personnel immediately noticed a black spot on his forehead, and after a thorough physical examination, determined that the subject was infected by the SCP and exhibiting the first visible symptom of -1 transformation. Majewski was classified as anomalous and received a 251 designation, becoming the first and at present only recorded case of a -1 to not be a member of the GUI. 251 willingly cooperated with its containment and observation, becoming a critical source of information due to being the solitary -1 to not be bound by the GUI's veil of silence.
Okay, so this guy's the only one who has this thing that's not a part of the GUI.
Yeah.
Okay, so he might have a different look on it. Okay, I'm trying to like...
Do you want to be him, and I'll be the doctor in this one?
Yeah. Sure, I'll be this guy.
You are 251 and I am Dr. Sui Miyazawa.
Go for it.
I know this may be regarded as unprofessional, but I wish to offer my sincerest apology. Had we known infection could occur in such a manner, we would certainly have taken stronger safety precautions.
You couldn't know.
Well, still, we'll do everything we can to undo your predicament and hopefully prevent this from happening in the future. Okay. With that said, I wish to ask you a few questions about days leading up to your current condition. Did you by any chance directly interact with any -1, any physical contact?
No.
Okay, and what the monastery itself? Did you ever access the inner walls?
Just routine patrols. Never lingered long.
Well, how do you feel? You seem rather calm considering the gravity of the situation.
I don't feel anything, but I know I should. I should feel horror, but instead, I feel nothing at all.
Do you have a history of depression?
No, this isn't a familiar experience.
So we can probably assume that this is a symptom.
And I should be angry. Angry that I can't feel right. I know what my brain wants. It wants to scream. It wants to rage. But instead, nothing. Just emptiness. It's like trying to locate a word in the dictionary, only to find that it's been cut out. Now there's just a hole.
Now I want to ask you, is this man Russian or Scottish?
He was supposed to be Russian, but I lost the accent partway through.
He went to Scotland for a little bit.
Sometimes it's hard to hold an accent. You fuck it up, especially when the sentences get weird. I would like to apologize for flubbing that. But I was going for Russian because I assumed based on the name he was like kind of like Polish, maybe like Eastern European. But I did not hold that.
He went to Scotland.
I went to Scotland. I know. I heard myself.
I know when you started talking about being angry, that was when he became Scottish.
No, don't read into that. It's hard to hold an accent sometimes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I promise Scottish people I love you all.
I apologise to the Tibetan people, to the Scottish people.
Apologise.
This episode's going to cause an international incident.
No, it won't. You're thinking too deep about it.
I'm not serious. By early 1998, the SCP had spread to 251's left eye and formed a vein that wrapped around the subject's neck and connected to a newly formed black mark located at the cervical region of the spine. 251 will occasionally report headache before expelling dark smoke, oak and sludge from his mouth, with both substances/forms evaporating too rapidly to allow analysis. Subject suffers. I did.
That was kind of. That's kind of cool how you did that. I'll let it slide. Analysis.
Subject suffers free. I'm like. He's like Alice in Wonderland. I'm creating new words right now.
Could you imagine if someone wrote an SCP and like it made you like write and swap like words together and the whole thing written like that?
I just misspoke. Leave me alone. Subject suffers frequent and violent tremors, causing the body to contort unnaturally and for subject to walk with a stiff, shambling gait. As -1 belonging to the EduI do not display similar reactions, it's possible that their teaching and practices, particularly meditation, ultimately allows them to better tolerate the effects of SCP infection.
Alright, let's see if I can hold it this time.
Yeah. Hello, 251. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Subject is curled on the floor, staring at the ceiling with their remaining eye.
You're clearly in a state of acute distress. I've been told you received morphine this morning. Has it helped?
No.
Okay. On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you describe your pain? 1 being the lowest level of discomfort, and 10 being...
There is no scale that could possibly capture the pain I feel at this moment.
When Darnell dies in Fortnite.
Shut up! Why don't you go to freaking hack, dude?
I'll just write you down as a 10. You again display unusual calm and clarity despite your ongoing predicament.
There is a separation. I don't know what else to call it. The pain is visceral, nauseating. I'm in unending agony. But it also feels like an out-of-body experience.
Oh my god, black smoke is emanating.
Thing. Yeah, causing black smoke to emanate from both natural and SCP-created orifices.
We can end the interview early if you need rest.
Wipes a black smear from his mouth and chin. Oh, but what else can I say? The monks, they can take a decade to change. It's been, what, only a year?
Actually, you've been in containment for about 5 months. Almost.
Is Khan on duty? Can you ask him to put a bullet through my head? Well, I'm guessing it will just be another hole with my condition, right?
We believe that to be the case, yes. I'll bring up your request for merciful termination as director, but I can't make any promises.
This is so sad. No, kill him! Let him die!
Due to research potential presented by 251,
fuck off, Foundation.
The request for merciful termination was denied.
What research could he possibly give you? Fuck off!
251's transformation displayed significant deviation from other -1, warping the body in conjunction with its increasing number of void pits, each of which steadily grew in circumference at a rate of approximately 1.3 centimeters
I think the fact that he's not of the religion and has this, though, kind of maybe lends support to your theory that they built the religion around the thing rather than, and it's something else.
And fusing the subject to the containment room floor. Prior to cessation of brain activity, the subject developed symptoms of dementia and acute memory loss, though it's unknown if they were caused directly by the SCP or a natural response to the SCP-induced trauma. By the year 2000, 251 lost the ability to see but retained its mouth and right ear.
Fuck the Foundation. I hope they all get killed. I hope 5000 comes to fruition.
Wait, no, they kill everyone in that one.
Oh, which one leads to the Foundation all getting killed?
I don't know.
We need that canon.
5000, the bad end, is the worst end, devil end. Hello, 251. Hello, Agent 47. Hello, 251. It's that time again. How do you feel? Would you kindly describe your recent experiences?
The shadows won't stop. They reach inside and take and take. Greedy claws that scrape and tear. I'd plead for you, but all I have to offer is dust and oil.
And the pain? No need for a scale. Describe it best as you can.
Oh, that. A part of me is in agony, but that part is falling deeper and deeper. How afraid he must be. A cool sludge moves beneath my skin. As far as I remember, it was always there. Subject vomits and holds the black spewage in its hands. Oh no, it came out. Subject smears the substance across the floor where it rapidly evaporates. How clumsy of me.
You mentioned shadows a moment ago. Do you see something?
Because I don't have eyes. You can't just assume that's...
Do you see something?
There are skittering shapes in the darkness. Yellow carapaces, a pale gold. 100 bodies, each 100 legs. They were sacred once, I know this now. How many memories were lost in that trade?
Like centipedes? And who are they sacred to?
Can you smell my fumes? It is incense. Did you know that? Like opium in myrrh and ancient books, it lingers on my tongue and tastes like forgotten dreams. It's not my memory. Something else remembers it. Something down deep below.
Who remembers?
The librarians. It reminds them of my kingdom under the mountain. It reminds them of home. My home is a cage where they are just feels like one. The dark and cold preserves, that's all that mattered. Subject slumps, losing consciousness.
251 would not regain consciousness until 14 days after the 2000 interview and was unaware of its last conversation. Sorry, a hole appeared in my throat.
The hiccup hole.
Displaying increased memory loss and confusion.
Did a hole appear in your throat, or did you just eat the hiccup fruit?
I did. I became a hiccup man. By late 2001, the subject's lower body and left arm coalesced into a shapeless, hardened mound. Its remaining epidermis developed a grey, cracked appearance.
I don't think I've seen one yet in One Piece, but is there like a shitty fruit? Like the worst fruit?
I think like the rule is there are no bad fruits, only bad fruit users. But there is some that like I can't think of a good use for.
The lamest fruit I've seen probably is in Skypiea. The Ganfor has his like bird who has the
fruit. That's a pointless one though, yeah, because it can already fly.
Yeah, it's just like, who gives a shit it has the horse fruit?
There is no meaningful difference between the two forms.
Yeah, for real.
That's just a bad matchup. I don't like, on something else that would be a good fruit.
Yeah, for real. Alright, we got another interview here.
Yeah. Hello, 251. Are you able to communicate today?
Spiraling, round.
Do you remember my voice? Do you know who this is?
Oh, me? It's cold. It's so cold. Please let me in. Let me in.
No, I'm sorry. It's Dr. Sui. Do you even remember your name?
A memory. Of a memory. Of a memory. Then nothing! Subject vocalizes noise resembling a combination of laughter, crying, and screaming. I cannot replicate that.
Yeah. Describe what you feel.
Round. Always down the drain. Thrown away, flushed to the scraps, the dregs.
Are you even in there, Machuski?
The end comes for us all.
What do you mean? Do you mean the monks or something else?
The new king made them forget what the old king showed them. When they found the truth again, they buried it. Their rituals remain, but they don't know what it means. Better not to know. Better a blessing than a curse.
I'm so fucking smart.
Flesh to sponge up so much nothing. What a filthy, polluted filter we make. It isn't a hole, it's not. It looks like one, but it's not. I'm a hole, but I'm not the darkness.
Then what is it? So what?
Oh, sorry. Is it whispering the next lines?
Yeah.
It's an eclipse. Did you not know? The highest did it. After what we did. All for trying to lift us to their heights. Tragic, tragic. What miserable ingrates we are. Their moon is a deathless city. A city of knowledge, of secrets, and forgotten things. And it casts a long, long shadow. Under the corpse light of their failed black sun, you would never know it was golden. You'd never... What remained of the subject's skull suddenly caved in and was followed 4 seconds later by the complete collapse of its body.
Me when I want to get out of a situation. Shit! Get me up here and secure the chamber!
Oh, fuck. Cowardly Foundation. You made him succumb to this fate.
Hold on, I would also want to leave the room, to be fair.
Yeah, but they won't give him a merciful death, but God forbid she becomes a useful
It's like, Chad Darnell researcher, let me stay in here.
She should have had to become the next subject.
Like, nothingness, splendid.
Alright, we got a little bit left here.
251's collapsed body spread across the containment chamber as its void of apertures merged to create a single portal which designated Dash-2. Unlike other Dash-1, 251 failed to fully annihilate, with its remaining husk forming a 3.2 meter radius ring around the newly manifested anomaly and rendering Dash-2 permanently fixed for the time being. Dash-2's interior displays properties identical to smaller SCP-created void apertures. Due to Dash-2's size and apparent stability, unmanned exploration was deemed feasible. Dash-2's interior environment is hazardous to organic life, but exhibits conditions similar to the vacuum of space, though with abnormally low temperatures comparable to the Boomerang Nebula. Located approximately 5,000 light years from Earth, is the coldest known region in the universe and measured at 1K, minus 272.15 degrees Celsius.
That's like almost absolute zero.
That's like what's in my fridge.
Yeah. Shut up. No, it's not.
What do you mean, yeah?
What the fuck?
The Dad needs how his fridge to keep our food cool.
Shut up. I hit you with my fist.
Pushes you into the fridge. Despite the similarities, there is nothing else to suggest that Dash-2 connects to outer space, as no stars have been observed from within. Though no conclusive evidence has been discovered, the most accepted hypothesis is that Dash-2 leads to a dimension outside our own. There does exist a downwards gravitational pull, but its source is yet to be discovered.
Considering people always talk about absolute zero, the coldest it can get, but no one ever talks about the hottest it can get.
Exactly. No one always asks how the sun is. Never asks that.
There has to be a limit to how hot a thing can be.
Well, as people know when they've seen me, there doesn't.
A temperature so hot that it burns away the space itself.
Burns away the fire.
Burns away like fire burns paper.
My ability lets me create absolute heat.
Let's do it. Infinity versus absolute zero. Who will win?
The final battle of the universe.
Damn. Alright, continue, please.
Your ability lets you freeze time. Mine lets me melt it. Considering these factors, it was determined that the best method to survey Dash-2's interior would be through a remote probe designed for long-term space exploration. On 4/10/2002 at 900 hours, this probe was released into Dash-2 from where it would record and transmit its findings to Site-95.
Is Dash-2 the monastery?
Dash-2 is the hole that this guy's corpse left.
Oh, Jesus.
It's like a portal.
Fuck.
Site-95 did not receive any notable transmissions until 07/16/2020, more than 18 years after its delivery into the SCP. Collected data includes a number of images depicting gold-coloured artificial structures, which together appeared to form a sprawling metropolis. These images were captured approximately 46 hours earlier, over a 12-second period before all contact with the probe is lost. The device presumably destroyed upon impact.
So it goes to some like long-lost world, or...
Yeah, I think like the implication is the probe fell for 18 years, and that's the photo it took right before it landed.
Yeah, but like he mentioned like golden cities and like people trying to search for stuff. So what the fuck is down there? What city is it?
Yeah.
You'd never know it was golden. The moon is a deathless city, a city of knowledge of secrets and forgotten things. I want to fucking explore that.
I want to create my Elden Ring building there.
I'd bring a ton of food, fall for like 17 years and 11 months, and then I would launch my parachute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that could be fun. Oh man, that was a good one. First of all, upvote. Well fucking done, Metaphysician. 13 out of 10.
Like I said, no one does this shit like Metaphysician.
Unlike most people... I mean, normally... Not unlike most people, sorry. Normally, I would want to give something a little bit more comprehensive of why this was so good, but I'll be honest, my brain is a little out of it today because of work stuff, so I don't feel like I can really justifiably explain why and how this was good. But like, I just really love the atmosphere it built, from the little pieces of world building to like the literal vibe and tone of the story, and how you kind of slowly unravel, like Tanhoney theorized this idea that, oh, the religion was sort of built around like a perversion or a corruption of this original purpose that's hinted towards. And normally, I think what's really good about this one, I think what Metaphysician does well, aside from it having all this world building, aside from the tone being great, aside from the reading being enjoyable, is a lot of SCPs fall into this trap where SCPs know less is more, but yeah, so they want to also do their
nothing.
Yeah, or they want to do their plot still, so they just do a last-minute exposition jump. Like dump at the end. But this one kind of slowly, each piece of information is important. It's not just vagueness for the sake of being vague. You're unraveling, you're literally discovering the SCP. And I think that's what makes it so engaging and pulls you in. Like, it's really good, and I feel like more articles need to have that vibe. Well fucking done, Metaphysician. That was really good. What about your thoughts?
I really liked it. Like, I keep saying this, but no one does this shit like Metaphysician. Like, there's a little bit of Sarkic DNA in the writing here, but it's very much his own sort of thing as well.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's so many little things that really feel like the history. It feels real. It feels like a real history. I don't know how to describe it.
It's good world building, is what I would
exactly.
Very
it feels genuine.
Yeah, it feels like thought was put into it. It feels like there was experience here, whether it's life experience or from reading other things. It feels like there was some there was breath of life put into the work. It feels like it comes from something real, not just like purely constructed. Very good, very very good. What would your rating be?
10 out of 10.
Nice. And don't feel bad, Metaphysician. He just doesn't believe in the bonus stars. So that for him, that's the highest possible rating.
Exactly, and for any real person, it would be.
All right, well,
only fake humans.
But that's okay.
No, I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm saying you don't exist.
No. You just don't have a good brain. You're stupid. But that's okay.
You think I'm stupid?
Shut up. You can't pull that card because nothing phases you. You have no emotion. You ate the void fruit.
I'm an empty man. That'd be terrifying. Like, Luffy punches me and just the hole.
The discussion page is just people trying to find fancy ways of saying it's good. It's like a fascinating take.
I thought you meant on the last Discovered NPC episode.
Very cool take. It's like, you can just say you like it. It's good.
Take is good.
Take. How about give?
Yeah.
Because that's what Metaphysician did. He gave you a banger.
He gave,
all you do is take.
He came, he slapped, he gave.
I will say, even with the comment reading, we're going to be a bit behind, so we might need to find a short little fuck-off article.
Well, unless we have anything to discuss. Do we have anything to discuss?
I don't know. I don't want to just put filler in our podcast.
There's no filler.
Space is getting it, I don't want to spoil it for the
Well, yeah. I never asked you to. I said, do we have anything to discuss?
That's all I have to talk about. My things, the only things in my brain are bitch about work and how miserable I am, talk about aetheral space, and comment on what we read. That's all I got. Is there any news?
I don't know. News. Let me check the front page. Let's see if there's anything going on the SCP Wiki. RemixCon happened recently. Did you hear about RemixCon?
I'm so tired of SCP Con. Can I tell you that?
Yeah, I've heard you say this, yeah. Tell me.
And it's not any fault of SCPs, but it's just...
I'm pushing a little soapbox so you can stand on.
in our community and otherwise who have all these cool projects they're working on. Like, Dune has this web serial. Sobek and JT have these, like, Aether things. And I'm always like, oh, how's this personal project going? And like, oh, you know, I haven't really got a chance to work on it. I'm working on fucking... I made a joke about this on Twitter, but, like, I'm working on this for Dick Sucker Con. And it's like, why do you... I don't know. And I think Yasi makes a good point, too. I feel like a lot of times people are just writing, like, meme things or what's popular instead of what they really want to write. It's kind of it's making me a little bit of a doomer on contests. It's like, I don't know. But
this guy's part Doom Patrol.
I'm also not, like, participating in these comments and seeing all the actual good work that comes out of them.
Yeah, you don't read the entries, you just don't like them exist.
Yeah, but I just, like... It's always a shame when I know someone has something they're passionate about, want to work on, but they're like, no, I have to be in this SCP contest. I can't miss out. It's like, dude, just, who cares?
I've entered one, and I won it, and that was enough for me.
Like, every fucking month, you can miss one. Yeah. There was a while, too, where someone on the server was like, oh, I'm so busy with college, but I have to do these 2 SCP contests.
You don't have to.
No, you don't!
No one's making
you. Don't! It's okay! You can stop.
Please.
It's over now. But yeah, no, I don't want to be a whole doom on it, because I do think the contests are cool on site. They give people an opportunity to create and collaborate and make neat things. But I just feel like it's a shame sometimes. I want people to make what they want to make, not just feel like they have to do the thing that's popular right now. That's all my point was. But yeah, I did hear about Remix Con. Did anything good come out of it?
I don't have no idea of it.
The whole idea was it's like basically reboots of old articles, right?
Well, it's like it says, a remix, like taking the idea and taking it in a different direction.
Gotcha. I know some people were talking about that on the old Twitter. But yeah. What else? Is there anything going on with Wanderer's Library?
Not that I don't really frequent it, but there's something probably going on.
It says Titan Clash Live. What's Titan Clash?
I don't know. Sounds cool.
Clash of Titans. Yeah, they don't have like a news page like the SCP Wiki. I don't know. Oh no, you DM me something. Was I being... Hold on. Anomalous, put this on the screen what Tan sent me. Hang on. I have to get this to Anomalous. Hold on.
Incredibly cursed image.
Where's our editing channel? Help me out here.
There's no one called editing.
I know, but there's... Oh, it's way down here. Okay.
It's going to be a different place for me, so I don't know why I asked for my help.
You'll know when to put this in new episode. You need to enter every contest. He would never say that, though. But yeah, Tanhoney, if you can tell, me and Tanhoney are really into One Piece right now. Me, because the live action made me want to reread the manga, and I think me and Dune and talking about it made Tan want to read it again. And we're having a blast. It's so fucking good. What else? I'm kind of working on a fic thing, but who knows if that'll get finished. What about you? What are you working on aside from new Aether stuff?
Nothing really on a personal level.
Because I know you're doing some things in your life, but I don't know if that's stuff you want to share. If that's private,
yeah, not really.
I'm gonna air that for you. Yeah. Wait, was it supposed to be magnifying glass?
Yeah.
Who can say? All right, but I think we've wasted enough time here, I guess, that we can read the comments theoretically. Let me get that open real quick.
My go-to layer excuse is, "Oh, you spotted it." Well done.
All right, let's see. You ready?
Yeah. Tell me what these people hate me for. They're always fucking pissed at Tiny.
No, they aren't. People love you. Shut up. Nerd. I've never once known anyone pissed at you. That's
I know one person on Tumblr who didn't like me for some reason. They posted like a confession like, I like Tiny, but when I read SCP-5, I wanted to break his teeth, and I was like, Jesus.
People who did that. There was a couple people like that who were very bad. You won the contest. Like I know.
Hate the player, hate the game, not the player.
Yeah, exactly. See, contest.
I always said the opposite. Hate the player, not the game.
Hate the player.
Fortnite POV.
Dino Tail says, "What is up, my fellow favorite anime protagonists? Since we did an episode related to superhero stuff, might I suggest some super-related SCPs? 4128, Action Comics number 1. 4455, in short. 4912, with great power. Anyway, as for my special superhero skill, it would be to make discovering SCP... Fuck you. Read actual SCPs. Is this statement a joke? I'll let you
Unrealistic
decide
demands.
Fuck you. We did. We read one. Get off my
good one.
ass. It was a good one, too. It was. So before we can have Metaphysician on, we have to see about the other guest. But after we have the other guest, I will bother Metaphysician on Twitter.
Okay.
Shaithalia says, you must now read SCP-6500. It's punishment for stalling to read SCP. Is that fucking Ouroboros?
It's really long.
Yeah, we can't read that. Don't actually, that shit is really long. I recommend 6001 instead. It's a nice one.
We didn't read either of them.
Andrew Doyle 6176 says, finally caught up! Yay! I absolutely love your guys' podcast. Maybe it's time to listen to Aetheral Space.
Psyop successful.
Thanks for the great experience. You guys inspired me to start writing my first SCP. Oh.
Congrats, Doyle. We have a writing channel on Discord, so if you do want to get some credit for it.
Post that shit, buddy. I'm so happy, man. If we inspire anyone to be creative, that's like the biggest...
We've immediately... Now I can go out of the path of rebirth.
Finally, we can escape Samsara.
Enter the real world.
We're in the temporary world?
Yeah. I need to go back to finish what I started.
Back? Wait, how did you get sent to this world then?
Punishment.
Punishment? What if you just got sent back? Have you seen that green text that was like, piss off a wizard, get banished to the desert for 10 years, finally find him again, banished again?
That's happened to me.
Gosha305 says, hello, I write this to you through time from the distant episode 134. Been following the podcast on and off for the best part of a year, starting at episode 68, and thought I'd finally muster writing a comment, even if I only hear you react to it in several months or weeks, depending on the duration of my current obsession with this podcast. Keep it up, guys. I absolutely love your banter. I'll leave recommendations, not because I have any hope you'll listen to them, but on the off chance you'll accidentally have fulfilled them by the time I get to this episode, granting me bragging rights. SCP-4040, at the bottom of a bottomless pit. SCP-6820, Termination Attack.
We read that one.
Hey, we did that one. SCP-1871, Vorpal Sword. Also
we did that one.
The only one we didn't do is Bottom of a Bottomless Pit, I think.
We'll do that next episode. No, we won't.
And to end off this overly long comment, it's so sweet that you think this is a long comment, but this is like the perfect length of a comment. You're totally good. We used to get really long comments.
The only good fan. Sorry, everyone.
Oh, shut up. Stop it. No. Don't say that.
If you want me to love you again, you have to go after this guy.
Shut up. And to end off this overly long comment, I'll quote a song you've never heard, and that is at all pertinent only to the Anti-Memetics Division's episodes I'm currently at. Seems like after all this time, no, we never made it far. And even if we could start all over, we'd still be where we are.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much. Comedy Man Kelp says, good to have you guys back. Missed y'all last week.
I'm going to use one of the pre-suggested responses.
And he says, hello and welcome to another episode of Discovering Something, because it ain't gonna be SCPs. Okay, fuck you. Fuck all of you. We read an SCP today, damn it. I wanted to read an SCP last week, too.
We read the contractually obliged SCP.
Kazaa! Today, Dar 420 Nell and Swolehoney are back with more royal roads and holders. You're fucking wrong. Fucking wrong. Incorrect. You ever just search the most generic words in manga or animals, I assume anime sites, and just read the first shit that pops up? Like, I just got back from work and I don't want to think. Got on the most generic shit there is. I do that with webtoons occasionally. Like, I do not think webtoons typically are, like, intensely amazing, like, narrative pieces, but sometimes I'll just binge a manhwa in, like, a day. And just empty my brain.
Sometimes I think about doing that, but then the thought of actually, like, not liking it. Stop makes me stop.
The thought of the system showing up.
Yeah.
Runs a
As soon as they fucking start to more unique skills and shit, I'm out.
As soon as they're like, I started as the weakest thing, I'm like, no, you didn't.
Like, every time this mentioned, I go on a fucking rant. I can't do this every time.
You know what you need to do? You need to do, in like SCP trauma style, you need to do something where someone spawns as the strongest thing and they're slowly whittled away at in mind, body, and soul. As other heroes and reincarnated things overcome them, other monsters evolve, they lose their grip on reality.
I had an idea for an isekai story.
Yeah.
So the guy gets summoned, right? Like, everyone's like, oh, great hero, we've summoned you. He's like, I just get hit by a truck, what happened? And like, going out of the temple, like, to go on his journey, and then some bandit, like, shoot him in the head with an arrow, and then he gets scared to another world, and he dies in that one and goes to another world. And it just every time he dies, he goes and gets isekai into another horrible world.
It gets worse each time.
Exactly.
Like, depressing and horrifying.
Exactly. And he slowly goes insane.
Oh my god, that would be a fucking article worth writing, or a tale even. That would be really cool as a tale, I think. Anomalous says, these SCP wiki tales do be looking different now. Guare SCP says, Royal Road reading? Interesting. If you all want to go back to SCP reading sometime,
these fucking guys.
Here are a few. No one believes them. First of all, they're like, "Oh, don't worry about reading SCPs. Don't worry about reading SCPs. Just do what your heart desires." 2 episodes of not reading SCPs, so I know you guys are never touching SCP again, and you fucking hate SCP. SCP-7565, The Quest for the Mokele Mbembe. 7918, Ronald Reagan dies of acquired immunodeficiency syndrome-related complications. I have to say, not that I am a Ronald Reagan fan by any means, but why are there so many SCPs about Ronald Reagan? I feel like this is the 3rd one I've heard of.
Well, this is like that's a parody title of the big one that's about Ronald Reagan.
Oh, did we already read that one then?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. SCP-7992 is a gorilla. Nice.
You spoiled it. Thanks, you killed it.
Thanks, you killed it, kid. I think we've done our it's so weird because I'm on your YouTube and I'm seeing your recommended videos and it's all like Bleach shit, and then at the very top it's like Back to the Future Raw reactions. That's crazy. Alright, I'm seeing some One Piece essays based Shonen Power Systems Explained. I gotta watch some of these look cool as shit. You gotta send me more of these anime video essays you watch. Sure. I dig this kind of stuff, but I don't know where to find it. Canceled Shonen Jump always depresses me, because sometimes I read from the Shonen Jump ad, and I sometimes see a series get discontinued, and it hurts, man. It's brutal. Alright, anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Unless you have any closing remarks, Tim?
That's it from me.
Alright. Also, if you've been thinking about watching not Royal Road, Aetherial Space, now's the fucking time to get in on it, because we're getting to a big moment, and it's a huge shift in story and tone, and now's the time to catch up while you've got a chance, I'm just gonna say. It's because we're in like the golden era of Aetherial Space, the last few arcs. It's like pure, all thriller, no filler. So good.
I'm glad you think so.
Yeah, everyone thinks so, dude. You're on top of the world right now. You're literally making one of the best, I think, ongoing web serials right now. Like, probably top 10 at least. And, like, no one knows about it, and it drives me nuts. It's so good.
So I'm gonna beg you guys again, write some fucking reviews.
Maybe people will think about Aetherial Space if we put on fucking Aetherial Space Con on SCP Wiki. We have to write about
Please,
Aetherial
I'm begging you guys. Every time you write a review, it goes so high up the ranking, and more people see it. Please, write a fucking review. I'm begging you. I'm on my hands and knees.
Only if you actually watch a whole... Let me, as a caveat, as good as that.
Please read Aetherial Space, and if you like it, please...
Don't just spam it, because that would be scummy as fuck. To just spam good reviews when you haven't read it. But if you read it
and write a review. Yeah. I'm fucking begging you.
So many people are like, "Oh, I'm just too lazy." I'm like, "Go fucking."
I don't give a shit if you're too lazy, because this is getting
fluoride staring.
I'm getting pissed off.
All right, thank you guys.
I'm joking. Please just read it if you're interested and leave a review.
Bye.
Bye.